Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, Magnetic Reversal News, and Shinrin Yoku, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Friday, March 19th, 11:30 p.m. Mountain Time 2021. The models are in, and it's a sin. March is looking like March Madness for the West. Heavy snow infiltrating the entire Rocky Mountain front. But the big story, Iceland halts air travel following volcanic eruption, and that's Fagradalsfall. More importantly, and more specifically, the Kruševik volcano, which is erupting now as a fissure eruption on the island. Keep calm, it's boom time. As Iceland erupts in a historic 800-year eruption, what else could we fathom? Well, Wyoming got buried beneath a record blizzard, trapping meteorologists in their office for 5 days. More than 30 inches of snow fell at the National Weather Service office, setting a new daily record, and keeping people in their place. Just because you forecast the weather doesn't mean you're immune to it. Meteorologists at the National Weather Service in the office, Cheyenne, Wyoming, have been trapped in their facility since Saturday, which is Saturday in Pagosa, by the way, thanks to impossible road and vehicles buried beneath the heavy snow. Much of Wyoming, western Nebraska, Kismayaska, and the Colorado Front Range experienced a historic blizzard over the weekend. Parts of the same system that whipped up a serious tornado outbreak in the Texas Panhandle has buried the meteorologists in their office. Can you believe that? I can. Spring is beginning, but many cities usually have more snow ahead. Ding, ding. Snow moves in overnight. Some areas of New England could see 5 inches. Cinches. Cold front to bring rain, snow across Utah this weekend. And Colorado ski areas could see multiple feet of snow from next week's spring storm. Hello. Longmont begins plowing snow from the last storm, and it's heavy. Sierra Cement. And let's just walk these models through for you folks. Here's your Saturday. Boom. Heavy snow moving into Montana, in the mountains, Wyoming. You can see it walk through here. Here's your Sunday, which is a fun day. Into Monday, that snow's going to move in and crush us down here in the Colorado region. And we're just looking at 16 inches or more in the mountains, so nothing we're not used to seeing. Unsettled in the west, a Pacific storm will bring showers, thunderstorms, and mountain snow, heavy in places from the northwest to the north and central Rockies. A wintry mix may reach some valley locations in the Great Basin. Gusty winds will produce near critical fire weather threats in the upper Midwest. That's up in this region here where the tan is. So keep a close eye on the blustery winds and your cigarette butts. Now, snowstorms boost Colorado snowpack and lessen drought conditions in the northeast part of the state. We're still under extreme drought in many regions. But the snowpack is, and according to SnowTel, is looking 100% like normal. The green is approaching normal to 100%, which is almost everywhere. Yellow is below normal. Blue is booming. And we have huge amounts of precipitation coming over the next 3 to 4 weeks based on the models. So this is only going to get better. Places it won't get better is down here in Arizona and southern New Mexico. You're looking at a little slight there, but that will increase during the monsoon. Mark my words. Now, earthquakes shake Mauna Loa. Say it ain't so. No eruption or tsunami threat for now. We've been reporting on that. Worldwide volcano news update. We have some, the Earth is getting bigger and fit 5.8 in the mid-Atlantic ridge here. We have a small little shifter down here at the mid-ocean ridge. But the big quake just happened moments ago in Mexico at 30 kilometers, 5.7, booming, and shaking the nerves of people that are vacationing there right now during spring break. Worldwide volcano news update, Ducono to 7,000 feet. Kruševik confirmed. Reventador, Sinabung, Sakurajima, Nevados de Ruiz, Sabancaya, Abico, San Cristobal, and more. Volcanoes, they be exploding all over the world. Iceland halts air travel following volcanic eruption. A volcano in southwest Iceland has erupted as anticipated following thousands of smaller earthquakes over the last 4 weeks in an area which is called the Reykjanes Ridge. Now, overview of the eruption at the Now, this is a new word for you all. Glendingragler in the Fagradishfall mountain. Say that 5 times fast. This is the first eruption of the Kreisvik-Turinja volcano system since 1340, as we reported on hours ago, before anyone else in the mainstream. The fissure is, at the writing of this article, estimated to be 1 kilometer long with the direction southwest and northeast. Currently, the eruption is small. There's no risk of damage to any infrastructure. This may change. The next road currently closed because of earthquake damage that might get damaged is 2.5 kilometers distance from the eruption, which we've already proven has at least reached 1.5 kilometers from the fissure. This eruption suggests that there is more eruptions that might start in different fissures once this eruption is over. So the Reykjanes Ridge itself may rip open and other fissures may start erupting based on historical documentation. I wonder who said that. The valley that the lava is flowing in might get filled with lava if the eruption lasts long enough, and historically these eruptions have lasted for weeks, months, or decades historically in this region. The valley next to it is equally deep, so there is no danger of this lava flow. But if these valleys fill, there is extreme danger. So they're simply not telling you the truth there. The eruption in that area is difficult to access by car. That's why it took so long for people to get here. It's very difficult to get to this region, and they know what they're doing in Iceland, and people have been told to stay away for now up to 10 days. There's no one near this region. So kudos to Iceland and their preparedness. Now we're looking at the seismicity. There is almost none, as we predicted before the eruption would occur, and we're just updating it for you here live. So we have the newest update. And yes, there is almost no seismicity whatsoever during the eruptive phase, which we're seeing here. Now, what we should see is an uptick in seismicity in a different portion of Iceland as this fissure, which goes this way, and there's a little T down there, and it continues to go up the island here. We can see more seismicity happening in other regions. We should see more volcanic uptick based on historical evidence in the region of Iceland. Now, the Kreisvik-Turinja volcano that is now erupting hasn't erupted since 1340. And it typically erupts at VEI 1 or 2. So there's not any imminent danger to the people living within 30 or 40 miles from this volcano. But there is unpleasant danger of toxic gases and others happening in the days to come as weather moves around and weather systems blow the gases like hot asses right in their faces. It's a disgrace. Now, we do have some spectacular footage that we showed earlier that we'll just show you now. Why not? So what you're looking at here is the eruption that began just 7-8 hours ago that is now spilling over the island of Iceland and headed toward Grindavik town. What you're getting a close-up here is the actual fissure, which is trending in this direction, which is where the spattering comes out of these holes, similar to Mauna Loa, which we just have been reporting on in recent months. So the fissure is trending in this direction, and the lava is flowing out from the holes. So the unique thing we're witnessing here is an actual mid-ocean ridge eruption in real time, which is very rare and is indicative of the onset of major cosmic catastrophic events worldwide in historical past. Now, this event might be so significant that it would actually kick off all of the subsequent events that add insult to injury to the coming times. And what I mean by that is that in our historical paleoclimatological and geological investigations, we determined 4 years ago that Iceland would kick off the events that lead to the destruction or the end of the empire. And what happens after that is Cascadia, an uptick there in historical past. And here you see the earthquake events over the last several decades. But what we should bring your eyes to are these red triangles. And these are the volcanoes that are potentially active in that Cascadia subduction zone. And these have historically gone off during grand minimas in the past. Here we're looking at just back in 1800, we have Lassen Peak going off, Mount Shasta, Mount Hood, Mount St. Helens, Mount Rainier, Glacier Peak, and Mount Baker. And we've seen upticks in these volcanoes in recent months. Small seismic swarms beneath the caldera in Rainier and St. Helens are leading people to maybe to start prepping for things that might be coming. And we're not bumming, because we know it's happening. Now, get ready for Brood X. The once in every 17-year cicada swarm is coming. And I remember as a child when this happened, and it was groundbreaking as far as my scientific endeavor. Why one side of the earth is rapidly getting colder than the other? Well, spatiotemporal variations in surface heat loss imply a heterogeneous mantle cooling history. And if you have no idea what I just said, well, you'll be all right. But I'll leave you the paper and the geophysical research letters supporting information on the paper, which is the actual paper. And this is 8 pages in a PDF file where you can actually look at the information and glean for yourself what's happening with the magnetic reversal and the inner core of our Earth, which is not actually laid out by the way they say it is. Record-breaking aerosol levels explained by smoke injection into the stratosphere because of the Australian fires. Now, intense widespread bushfires in Australia injected huge amounts of smoke into the stratosphere in 2020. Is that the reason why we're getting so cold? I don't think so. But scientists now determine the origin of the extrasolar object Oumuamua, after a Harvard professor published a book saying it was an extraterrestrial ship. He now looks like a schmuck. And I knew that was going to happen. But everyone's looking for a buck, and follow the money. The reason why global warming still exists is because that's where the funding is. It has nothing to do with the science. Just like extraterrestrials in planetary discoids that came from outer solar system environments are not alien. How stupid is that Harvard professor? I wish I could meet him to tell him how much of an asshole he is. Plummeting sperm counts, shrinking penises, and toxic chemicals threaten humanity. Thank you, Aaron Brockovich. Apparently you have data on that. How lightning strikes could explain the origin of life on Earth and elsewhere. We're going to be doing a podcast on this in the near future and explain it in depth, dive into the article, and get up to speed. And how an ill-fated undersea adventure in the 1960s changed the way scientists see Earth. Well, they found plants at the bottom of that ice sheet, and well, they were tropical in Greenland. So another podcast coming there. Cosmic catastrophe is real. the science you've been fed is garbage and you're gobbling it up. Well, most of you that watch the channel don't. You listen to what I say. And that's a boom to knowledge. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. When Iceland erupted, after I predicted that 4 years prior, and the events are unfolding that are grand solar minimum and magnetic reversal news worthy. We are entering the magnetic excursion. We're entering the grand solar minimum. We're entering the next ice age before your very lives. Are you prepared? Be prepared. Don't be scared. Proper prior preparation prevents piss poor performance, as most of the sheep go bah and they shiver in the corner. We plant food. We make alternative energy sources. We find water. We take names. That's a boom to knowledge. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Share this channel with like-minded people. Become a subscriber. Become a Patreon. And be safe. We love you. That's a boom to knowledge. Click on one of the other boxes to gain more of it. Be safe. No.